This week, our community was hit by devastating, destructive, and unfortunately deadly storms. In order to support our neighbors and advocate for federal funding, I spent time on the ground in Greenfield talking with families. If you were impacted by this week's storm, there are resources available. Please call our office if we can be of any assistance and say a prayer for our neighbors. This week, we made huge progress in our fight to support Iowa's farmers and our rural communities, to protect our four-legged friends and promote affordable housing options. So let's talk about it all in this week's SITREP. First, in Iowa, farming isn't just a job, it's a way of life. Since my first day in Congress, I have fought to support bipartisan solutions that help put food on the table and fuel in the gas tank of every family in America. After meeting with hundreds of Iowans during our Farm Bill listening tour, I'm proud the 2020 Farm Bill includes 17 of our bipartisan priorities, giving Iowa an outsized voice in this once-in-a-5-year Farm Bill. This includes support to our farmers with stronger crop insurance and expanded support for small and first-time farmers. Investing in infrastructure, hard infrastructure in our rural communities like rural broadband for telehealth, precision ag, and more support for our job creators. Also, feeding America by investing in a healthy foods program to help those most vulnerable among us living right in our communities. And ultimately, preventing China from purchasing America's farmland and being a threat to our agri-industry. This past week, the House Ag Committee considered the 2024 Farm Bill, and I'm excited to report that this bipartisan bill is now headed to the floor. I'll continue to fight until this bill is signed into law for your community and ours. Second, Goldie was a golden retriever from Wayne County at a USDA licensed puppy mill. Sadly, she faced neglect and abuse. She didn't have water, a bed, fresh food, or the veterinarian care she needed. And she wasn't alone. That puppy mill received over 120 violations over the span of just 6 months, as more dogs like Goldie were suffering. Still, the USDA took more than a year to save her and 500 other dogs from this puppy mill. And tragically, Goldie passed away from her abuse. Which is why I've worked with Wayne County Sheriff Keith Davis on a bipartisan piece of legislation to protect dogs from abusers and require the USDA to inform local law enforcement when abuse takes place. During the House Ag Committee, I introduced an amendment to include this policy that holds USDA accountable and keeps more of our four-legged friends safe. Our amendment passed unanimously, and now these animals will have the extra protection from abusers. On Monday, I hosted an affordable housing roundtable in Des Moines. There's a shortage of more than 7 million affordable homes in our country. Earlier this year, my bipartisan bill to make it easier for rural communities was signed into law, but we still have more work to do to address the affordable housing crisis in our country. Our discussions this week made one thing very clear. We need to think outside the box to fix this problem and help Iowans have the life they deserve. Iowa is an honor to serve you. This Memorial Day weekend, I ask that you join me in remembering those who have bravely served our country and made the ultimate sacrifice to defend the freedoms of you and me. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon, Iowa.